Hey guys, Scott here. Rapid fire video. I'm going to make a bunch of suggestions that are extremely easy to implement because they use code that already exists in the game, or it just involves literally making a number a different number. These are specifically designed to be something behavior can implement in a day. And I mean, even in behavior time a day. Just these are all very simple. They're not full reworks. This is a totally separate type of video from like rework series. Just a bunch of rapid fire small changes that I think would impact the game in a huge way. And let's just start immediately. Number one, everyone should spawn together. Survivors should always spawn together. The code already exists for this in the offerings that the killers have for some reason. So that should take 0 seconds to implement because it literally already exists in the game. This should just be a default behavior of spawning. You should always spawn together. This will equalize small maps and big maps because if survivors all spawn together on a big map, they have to take their slower movement speed to other generators, and it tends to equalize that between big maps and small maps because on small maps, the killer can actually maintain pressure by just getting to gens very fast, but if you have a big map, it's a lot harder. So when everyone spawns together, it does make them a bit more similar and kind of fixes the imbalance between big and small maps. Next, increase the loop value of long wall jungle gyms. They are just simply stronger than most other jungle gyms, and they need to be treated as such. Loop value is something, or loop money is the term they use to basically generate the map. A certain map can have a certain amount of loop money, and I have a feeling they are basically the same value as a lot of other tiles, despite being significantly stronger. Next, don't let jungle gyms connect to the shack. This will really only impact very good players and probably won't affect the average player base. But good players know that if you have like a long wall jungle gym that's connected in a shack, you'll see this often on Cowshed. Sometimes you can see this on Yamoka maps. You can create a disgusting combination where you can vault like 6 windows and not even have to drop a pallet because of the way things are laid out. So I don't think jungle gym should be able to connect to shack. The most that should be able to connect to shack is like a TL wall or just like a junk tile or something like that. But jungle gym should not connect directly to shack. That's a huge problem with really good players. Next, show who's in to survive with friends. I know it's a controversial suggestion, but if you're going to have the slight advantage of, having communication amongst your teammates, they should have the slight advantage of knowing that you're going to have the communication between your teammates. And if the killer wants to dodge, well, killer queues are pretty much longer, so it's their prerogative if they want to do that. But at the end of the day, yes, it might make them play a bit differently, but you're also getting a bit of an advantage. So you have to acknowledge that. So I think it's fair that killers are just simply told, like, with a little link chain symbol between just who's in a group in a lobby. Not a big deal. Trapper, he needs to start with 3 traps. Simple. Next, all seeing on Wraith. It should only turn on after being cloaked for 5 seconds. The problem is people use this mid-chase to remove all mind games that they can just see through the wall. Survivors have no chance to mind game whatsoever because the Wraith can just simply see them through the wall. If you make it so it only activates after being cloaked for a few seconds, now it fulfills that standard thing that it's supposed to do, where you can just find people that are hiding or finding people that are, just nearby but not actively in a chase while you are already stealth. It shouldn't be like a mid-chase power because it removes all mind games, and frankly, that's just dumb. Next, also the disparity between that add-on and Pig's Ultra Rare add-on makes no sense. It's just so much better. Next, remove the distance talk penalty for Myers. Simple. Next, don't let hag traps be placed within 6 meters of a hook, just to slightly alleviate that standard proxy camping playstyle that hags have. It'll still happen, but at least they'll have to put them a bit further away, so they'll have a bit more of a chance to react or do something. Pig's crouch speed needs to be buffed to at least 110%. There's no reason she should be so slow. It's not a particularly amazing power anyway, so she needs to get a huge speed buff with that. Legion's default fatigue needs to be heavily reduced. He is stunned for a full decisive strike every time he cancels his power, which is just so sad. And you can also adjust the add-ons to not be as strong with it, so you could adjust the add-ons to compensate, but his base kit fatigue is just simply way too long. Alchemist Ring needs to replenish only 1 or 2 charges, not all of your charges. It's just stupid. It's way too strong, especially on a killer as good as Blight. Tinker should only proc once per generator, but the stealth effect should last longer, meaning it will be a bigger decision to go to that generator, but you'll have a longer time to make a play off of that, rather than it being something where you just reset the same generator 70 times and keep getting Tinker. It just creates an extremely boring, repetitive, go back to the generator, go back to the generator, go back to the generator, regress. You get in a loop of just, it's like the Dr. Hostage build from a long time ago. Not quite the same, but I think that would help it a bit. Next, always block the basement window in Chapel. I don't know how to describe that better. If you know what it means, you know what it means. It's a ridiculous god window. And always block the stairs window on Haddonfield House of Pain and Badham Preschool House of Pain. I know a lot of these terms might be kind of unclear, but I'm trying to make this as rapid fire as possible. Next, just nerf mother-daughter's ring. It's just ridiculous. Next, nerf medkit, specifically medkit add-ons. The fact that you can heal yourself at like twice the speed, like 4 times with a good healing build, I think is ridiculous. I think medkits are the strongest item in the game by far, and I think they actually do need a nerf because 4 medkits in a lobby, if you're a killer without a one-shot, that is fucking ridiculously strong to go against. And finally, make keys take 5 seconds to actually open the hatch. It'll be a progress bar. It needs to be longer than a killer attack cooldown so you can't get hit and just jump in like you currently do. And that will probably be the change it takes the longest because they'd have to make a new bar. I don't know how long that takes, but everything else has been mostly just numbers and stuff like that. So there you go. There's 15, 20 changes that I think are very simple. It would take them less than a day to implement, and I think would make the game significantly better for both sides. I tried to address about an even amount of stuff for both sides. Obviously, there's a lot more stuff to talk about, but the whole theme of this video was to go as rapid fire as it would take to actually implement the changes themselves. So that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. See you next time.